Because, very good, because Christ isn't just an agent of the Father, but he claims himself to be Yahweh himself.
That's a very clean question.
Let me finish.
Right.
I know, but you asked me, right?
There you go.
So we can discuss that, but I'm giving you the difference between an agent and Jesus, right? So an agent cannot claim to be Yahweh himself, cannot claim the prerogatives of Yahweh, but Jesus does. That's the symmetry breaker. So you'll never see, like, for example, Aaron, when, the example where Aaron takes the staff and when Yahweh says, I'll do it, Aaron does it. You'll never see Aaron say, I'm Yahweh, or claim to be Yahweh, or, whatever. Jesus does.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're familiar with it clearly. Obviously, they know that whenever the verse is being quoted, it says that Yahweh is literally the one who's holding the rod in his hand, but obviously it's Aaron, the one who's holding the rod in his hand. So we would just say that's divine agency, yeah. But back to what Time was saying, you would have to obviously show first that Jesus actually does claim any kind of divinity for them to be a differential.
Of course. So you do agree that is a symmetry breaker, though, right?
No, because, for example, when you say divine prerogatives, you mean divine properties?
Yes, of God. So like being all powerful, all knowing, judge of heaven and earth.
So
resurrecting the dead, first and last.
So when it comes to knowing all things, would you agree that's a divine prerogative, right?
Yes. And so that's what I'm asking. Like if Jesus is claiming to have the divine attributes or prerogatives of God, like the things only God does, the claims that only God can make, would you agree that would be a symmetry breaker between an agent of Yahweh and Yahweh?
No, because we see other instances where others other than Yahweh, other than Jesus, right, would quote unquote be predicated with these prerogatives. For example, 1 John 2:20 said that the disciples know all things.
No,
it says that.
No, that's qualified.
Okay, let's bring it up.
It's qualified. Yep. So what we're trying to say is that if Jesus claims to be Yahweh, okay, that can only mean he's either lying, ignorant, or he is actually Yahweh. So,
or there's a fourth option. Can I give you in Jewish monotheism in the first century, the legal status, the status of a sender is the same as an agent.
But the sender, the agent, the can never claim to be the king, as he knows. He never claimed to be Yahweh.
He has the same exact status of it. For example,
Well,
I'm quoting you actual reference. This is found in like Nedarim 72b. These are midrash.
I don't care about that.
The thing is, I'm saying there's a fourth option. You could say from Jewish monotheism that's agency still, because Jewish monotheism allows this. Which if I can just finish, please. And we can find this example in 1 Samuel 25 when David wants to go marry Abigail, and so he sends his servants, and then the servants go to Abigail, and Abigail prostrates and speaks in the singular in the Hebrew, as if you're speaking to David, but you're speaking to the servants. Awesome. Because the servants have been sent by David, so they have the exact same status as David, while not actually being him.
Do the servants claim to be David?
It doesn't.
Hold on. Do the servants claim to be David?
They are called David.
Please. Do the servants claim to be
Not
David?
in this instant, but it was
exactly. If they did, what would happen to them?
Nothing.
Why are we skipping over this?
If the servants claimed,
God.
If the servants claim to be the king, you said nothing would happen to them?
No.
That's called what was it called? Treason. There you go.
Yeah.
That's treason, dude. A servant cannot claim to be a king. He'll be put to death.
Yeah, only in the sense of his status.
Let me listen. So we see you're bringing up examples where people represent the king, but they are not the king themselves. They cannot claim to be the king themselves. So we're not when it comes to Jesus is not claiming to just be a servant of the Father. He claims to be God. He claims to have the divine prerogatives that only God has, the titles that only God has, actions that only God has. So would you agree that this is a symmetry breaker between a mere agent? So an agent can claim to be God?
Yeah, and I'm giving an example that he gave in 1 Samuel, right? Where she calls the people, the servants, he says, my servant. So she identifies them as David. She says that they're David, although David isn't actually present. Okay, so that's number one.
Can you bring up the reference?
Yeah, it was 1 Samuel 25, 39 to 41.
Let's read that. And what's your point on this?
And then the point is that she calls them David, although David isn't present. So they bear the name David. They're identified as David, although David isn't there.
Yeah, can you, okay, so there's two different things here. Number one.
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay, so then David sent word to Abigail.
Sorry, really quick, let me go along with you.
Yeah.
Hey, quick break from the conversation. I want to give a big shout out to Logos. So Logos is an app that helps people study the Bible. They also have courses, books, all types of materials that can help you learn and get deeper in your faith. So Logos is offering everyone that subscribes to this channel a free 60-day subscription. So all you need to do, whether you're Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant, go to the link in the description of this video, sign up for Logos for 60 days. It's 100% free. You could learn the Bible way better than watching YouTube videos. It could even help you break down the words that you see in your Bible all the way back to the original Greek. So again, if you want to support this page or you just want to learn and get deeper with your faith, go sign up for Logos. And now let's get back to the episode.
Then David sent someone to Abigail, asking her to become his wife. His servants went to Carmel and said to Abigail, David has sent us to take you to become his wife. She bowed down with her face to the ground and said, I am your servant, and I'm ready to serve you and wash the feet of my Lord's servants. Right? So she identifies the people as the servant.
Wait, I'm confused. Hold on, let me see. So the servants of David came to Abigail at Carmel and spoke to her, saying, David has sent us to you to take you as his wife. And she arose and bowed with her face to the ground and said, Behold, your maidservant is a servant woman to wash the feet of my Lord's servants. Then Abigail hurried and arose, and she rode on a donkey with her 5 young women who went about with her, and she went after the messengers of David and became his wife. Where does it say that she called them David?
Amaris. She said she bowed down with her face to the ground and said, I am your servant. So they addressed the people as a singular servant, which is David.
Well, no, where does it say? No, see, this is why we got to read, bro. You said that she called them David.
No, I said, who's a servant in this case?
The servants are the messengers that David sent, and she's
Right.
their servant.
Wait, servant with a singular? Who's the servant?
Look, it says this.
What it represents?
Look, this is what it says. She says, it says, David sent us, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to what she said.
bowed down.
She says, behold, your maid servant. Servant is singular. She's
Right.
the servant.
Yeah, to who?
To the servants of David.
But you is a singular. It's not a plural.
So the you
So the you is in reference to only David.
No, it's not. Let me go ahead and respond to this, because in Exodus 20, when it says you shall have no other gods before you, that you is in the singular, but it's referring to the nation of Israel, correct?
Yeah, that's just because Israel can be referred to as a one. Yeah.
So you can have the servants be referred to as one, even though it's referring to a plurality of persons.
But
so
the thing is, you see a
David.
difference. You see, because
What's the difference?
after the thing is, when they're speaking on the behalf of David, Abigail refers to them as one, but then
Right.
after that, then refers to them as plural servants.
So-
So while accepting they're multiple people, whenever they're speaking on the behalf of David, she only calls them one person.